I wanted to talk about this piece of software that's been released. As far as internet marketing is concerned, you can be the best traffic generator. You can be the all-time master of driving people to your website. You can spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on paying for, targeted leads to go to your website. You could be a wizard at social media. The sad truth is that, if you drive millions of people to your website and it doesn't convince those people to buy your product or your service or to opt in, then your website's dead in the water. One of the most important things is obviously making sure that your sales copy or whatever you've written on your web page is going to convince people that they need what you're selling. So therein lies the problem. You can get a world-class copywriter can charge anything from $10,000 for a sales letter to $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a sales letter. And obviously those guys are excellent at what they do. They really are. And if you've got the money to spend and you can drive a heap of traffic at your product and it's going to be a winner, you've done some testing and you know that the product sells, then having a world-class sales letter makes a big difference, and you certainly make your money back from doing that. But for the rest of us plebs who can't afford $40,000 for a sales letter, there is a couple of solutions, and one is you try and work it out yourself and write your own sales letter, give it the best shot you've got, or you can copy and paste. That's the whole point of having a swipe file. So there's a copywriter in Australia called Brett Thompson, who is one of those kind of copywriters. He tends to charge $25,000 odd for a sales letter. He spends a lot of time doing it, and he's very, very good at what he does. He's sold, I think, in the region of $220 million worth of products for himself and his clients because of his sales letters, and they're very, very effective. Now what he's done is he's created this piece of software, which I'm going to show you how it works. In fact, we'll just launch straight into it, and then you can see how easy and effective this is. So on this page, there's pages that we've had a play with already. We're just going to launch straight into creating a new page. So let's say we want to create a sales page. And do we want to include video? We'll say no at this point. The reason I'm saying no is you can change all of this later, but if you have a sales video, you still need to have a script for the sales video. You still need to be able to have that video say the right things to convince people that that's what they need to buy. So my suggestion is, if you were to use something like this, is create the sales letter first, and then create the video from the sales letter that's been created with this tool. That way you've actually got some very potent copywriting done that you can use in your video. Basically what Brett's done with this is he's taken, he's written literally thousands of sales letters, and he's taken the most effective ones and taken lots of the phrases, the terminology, the structure, the layout, the grammar, all of that sort of stuff, and basically extracted the essence out of all of them. And this thing compiles all of that with your information. Now, there have been other attempts at this kind of sales letter software in the past, but I've tried using them before, but I've never actually come across one that is quite as slick as this. So then you can go into what category, and if you're not in any of these categories, you just go for general. Let's go for, if we're going to go internet marketing, let's go for that one. Let's choose template. Literally creates the page for you, and you can download the information or copy and paste the text, or just download the whole website. So we're just going to go through it from the start. So what 5 dominant emotions does your ideal prospect currently feel? So what are they feeling right now? So let's say if we're going to write, let's write a sales letter about copywriting. Okay, so at the moment, somebody who's trying to write their own sales letter is probably feeling frustrated, probably feeling overwhelmed, I would say that if they're not very good at it, they're going to be feeling helpless. It says pick 5. Let's go worried. You can add your own too. What can we put in there? Frustrated, overwhelmed, helpless, worried. We'll come back to that one in a minute. We'll put in this one. There we go. And of course, if you want to change the order of these in terms of priority, you can. What 5 dominant emotions would your prospect hope to feel? All right, well, happy, proud of their sales letter, certainly motivated, positive, and what else can we go for? Fantastic. All. Let's put in this one. There we go. You can put in more, but I've put 5. Maybe we'll take out fantastic so that we're just sticking with 5. And we hit next step. What specific problems are they currently experiencing? Well, they're not making enough money for sure. They're probably struggling to clear debt, not providing for their family. You know, you can see I'm just making this up, and again we can create our own. Let's do one. Struggling to get ahead, and no, I won't do that one. Lacking disposable income. Okay, let's make that second. Let's make that third. Let's make that fourth. Okay, and what specific benefits will your customer look forward to? Well, obviously being debt-free, having zero financial stress, making passive income, being financially free, and retiring rich and free, having more life choices. Let's pick that. Let's go next step. Please enter your full name here. Okay, so Joe Blogs. What is the name of your product? Copywriting, let's call it. That will make you rich. Be good if it's spelt right. Cool. What is the big promise you're offering to your customers? Learn to write killer sales copy. How quickly can your customer achieve this? Let's say 2 weeks. How many steps will it take for them to achieve this? Let's say 3 simple steps. What specific results can the customer expect from your product? $1,000 cash in the bank. And we hit generate. And it's actually as simple as that. You can see that it's created a template and it's written a long form sales letter for us. Now, it might not be absolutely 100% perfect. So what you can do is, so I don't want to have a banner, I can get rid of that. Okay. I'm not cool with the way that that's. So now I'll just show you what I did. I'll go back here. So if I click on here, I can change the size, etc. I don't know what size we're on right now. Oh, we might need to select everything and change the size. Yeah, let's make it a bit bigger. Okay. You can, alright, you can. So there's sometimes a few things that are missing. Bank in only 2 weeks guaranteed. So if you don't like this headline, you just hit this green button and it gives you a whole bunch of other options. So the shocking truth about how to learn to write killer sales copy, the complete guide to learn to write killer sales copy, proven tips, tools and tactics to write killer sales copy. Look, it gives you heaps. I mean, there's just stacks to choose from. So this is also perfect for being able to test headlines. You want to take this information and split test your web page, or take these headlines and take them to Google AdWords and split test the headlines through an AdWords campaign, and you'll get the winner picked really, really quickly. So that's pretty sleek. And you can see again we've got a few options. We can, let's do that one. We can put a customer testimonial in, and this gives you, it gives you some bullets straight up. These are copywriting templates that Brett has used very successfully for his clients and for himself. And even the layout, the way they're broken up into these chunks, are all things that basically have been proven to work. Now, what you need to do then is you just got to read through it, and it tells a whole story. Your story might be different, and you can go in and edit it. But having tried to do copy in the past, one of the things that's a real problem is you can sit there with a blank Word document for hours, messing around trying to even make a start. Sometimes that can be the biggest obstacle. You just end up with writer's block. You go around and around in circles. I've seen people that take weeks and months to write a sales letter, and I know I've been guilty of that in the past. You can change the images here and put in bonuses. If nothing else, it gives you an incredible head start, and you'd be actually surprised that a lot of this would probably work straight out of the box in a lot of cases. If you put in the right feeling, in all the questionnaire bits working up to this, I would say that probably for the most part, a lot of this would work straight out of the box. If you wanted to sell a high-ticket item, you might need to do a lot more tweaking. But if you're just doing a regular kind of a product, say up to $97 or even $197, it doesn't take much effort to create a sales letter that actually works, and especially if you're using this software, it's absolutely brilliant. So, at the very least, it gives you a place to start. And you can build squeeze pages with this. I'm just going to save this one for later. Oh, that hasn't worked. Let's try it again. No, okay. I just did get a Java notification on my computer before saying it was trying to update, and that was a JavaScript problem. So I would say it's probably more to do with my laptop than it is to do with the software. Here we can put in our own banner, or we can upload one. It gives you the sizes there. If we go back to our pages, oh, there you go, it has saved it anyway. We can edit some of this stuff. We can go back through with this button and go into looking at all the questions again if we want to change the feel of it. And then I would take, if I was creating a genuine sales page for this and I wanted to include a video, because video really converts, I'd be inclined to take the sales copy from this. Let's just go back and have a look at it, and use this as bullet points. So this is a squeeze page that's been created. This is the other page that I had there. So that gives you an example of a squeeze page that was created. Now this is the one I was talking about. I'd go back in here and take all of this information and turn that into a sales video. So use this script, to basically punch into your sales video, and then you've got a head start. You're well away. Now, part of the problem is writing a sales letter takes a stack of time. So if you use this, you can see that took us all of, 6 or 7 minutes to write this long form sales letter, and obviously, we get to go in and tweak it by putting in bonuses and adding images and all that sort of stuff. So it's still going to take a little while, but you could have this completed in under half an hour and load it up live and driving traffic to it. Now, there's that whole law of attraction thing about the universe loves speed, wealth loves speed. You don't get faster than this. Really, it's incredibly fast. And if you want a script for your video, if you want a long form sales letter, if you want an instant squeeze page, this thing will do it all for you. It also gives you, if you just want to create headlines, let's say for doing an AdWords ad or something like that, it's the same sort of thing. You just go through, these questions. What's the name of your product? What's the big promise you're offering? How quickly can your customer achieve this? How many steps will it take? What specific results can they expect? And you hit generate, and it's as simple as that. It just punches out a whole load of different headlines you can test and stick straight into your AdWords campaign and see which one works best. And if you've done AdWords before, you'll know that you can split test any number of different ads, so you can get a really good sense very, very quickly of what what one's working. You can also get a sense too of if you go back to this and we go into let's have a look at renew. Yeah, all modifications will be lost. Now what I'll do is I'll just do a new one. So let's say if we want to have a sales page, we'll say no video, we'll go making money, next step. Now you see what we did was we selected these, what are the 5 dominant emotions that they're currently feeling, what are the 5 dominant emotions that they would like to feel, that they hope to feel. I'm just going to go, let's just pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the purposes of what I'm saying. 2, 3, 4, 5, and we hit next step. What specific problems are they feeling? So using this, I mean, there's an extensive list here, and they are adding to it all the time. So you might do one where, in the original one we talked about they're worried about not making enough money, they're struggling to clear debt, they're having trouble providing for their family. We use those sort of hooks. But then you can go in and choose a completely different set of hooks. And you might try having a hook that is, being able to support your family versus a hook of, say, low self-esteem, or a hook of going bankrupt, or competitors out-marketing you. These are all different hooks, different emotional aspects of things that motivate people to, for instance, buy your product. Now, obviously, I've only hooked into the making money thing because, we're all internet marketers. But, you saw in the previous step, the different categories that you could choose. So, if you were, I have to go one more. If you weren't in the making money niche, say if you were in weight loss, for instance, we'll keep the same theme. There you go. I mean, you can we get rid of all of these, and there's a whole bunch of different kind of hooks that you can use that are suitable for the weight loss theme. There's no reason why you can't try 2 or 3 different hooks for your sales pages and see which sales page converts. And again, if it takes you so little time to write a sales letter, and that's all that you're coming up with is, it takes you half an hour to write a sales letter, you can sit there for an hour and a half and write 3 completely different sales letters, even to slightly different niches. So then if you wanted to For instance, go back to this. Oh, we still want to keep in this category, but then if let's go to money. I'm confusing things. So then, if you wanted to hook into the people that family people, and they're worried about supporting their family, you could have completely different set of adverts on Google AdWords or Facebook or whatever. A completely different set of ads that targets those specific people, and then send them to that specific sales page. Then come up with a separate hook and create a separate set of ads, and use your headline to creator to come up with AdWords copy for those people. So basically, you could literally, in half a day, you could have 3 separate campaigns all set up running to different sales pages, which are all split test with different headlines. There's nothing in the world that I've seen that creates sales copy that's that good and that effective that fast. And that's a huge bonus for being able to just pump stuff out. Now the big question is this going to replace a professional copywriter? No, of course it's not. How can it? It's it's a computer. It's just taking some of your data and your information and your thoughts around the dominant feelings, etc., and plugging them into some formulas. So it's not ever going to be as good as a professional copywriter, but it's certainly going to be, right out of the box, it's going to be much better than a novice copywriter. It's probably going to be better than a fairly intermediate copywriter. And if you just go through with a fine-tooth comb and read through it, make sure everything sounds good. You can see here, for instance, like that thing's capitalized just because that's what I typed into the thing. So you want to take out any of those clunky things that don't quite add up. Again, see, I've put in capitalization here. Take out those sort of things. You might want to change some of the the bullets. You might want to edit some of the story that runs throughout the sales letter to suit your story a bit better. But basically, at the end of the day, you can see probably once you've had a go of this a couple of times, you'll not make these silly mistakes. I just habitually capitalize things. You take that out and just go through everything, and at the end of it, you will have some very, very quick, fast sales letters. It's pretty impressive. It's way more impressive than any of the other kind of sales lettery type softwares that I've seen in the past. And given that, look, I mean, I can download this as an HTML and upload it immediately. I don't even have to do any coding to make it look nice, to do any font work, nothing. It's literally done. You just don't get faster than this. So there it is. If you want to find out a bit more about it, it's actually not live yet, this software. So basically you can't actually get it yet. It was open for a beta test for some time. I'm just creating a little Word thing for you. Yeah, it was actually open for a short time as a beta test, and then it was shut down again while they worked out some of the kinks and figured out exactly what they needed to do to make it work. They've done that now, and they're basically now at the point where they're simply just adding in additional things to make it more, to add more variety, to make it better, to make it work better. So these things are just getting added in all the time. So my suggestion is, if you're interested, you can go to this page here, which is internetphenomenon.com/copy. I'll leave that there so that you can, jot that down or whatever. I'll even make it. I can't make it bigger. Yeah, go and check that out, and it will be released shortly. and get yourself in to have a look at it and have a test run and just see how you go with it. It's absolutely cool, it's quick, it's fast. You know, in terms of being able to develop a campaign, say for instance you just created some quick products using Google Hangouts recording, or you know, screen capture video or something like that, or you got a ghostwriter to write yourself a book or something like that, and you wanted to create a quick sales letter to sell that as a product. You know, these things, you know, if you're a bit of a procrastinator, they can take weeks to set up. Whereas you can see, I mean, it can have three completely separate campaigns. You know, given the example that we've talked about, 3 completely separate campaigns set up, ready to go. You know, uploaded. You know, downloaded off of that program, uploaded to your web server. Get onto Google AdWords, and by the end of the day have traffic going there and probably cash in the bank. It's actually that quick. So absolutely cool. Thanks for hanging out and checking that out. I will probably be doing some more and you know, exploring some of that. There's actually a hangout on Thursday, which I'll have to put a notification up in my Google Plus page, where I'm actually going to talk to Brett, the creator of this. I'm just trying to find the page now for you. It's coming. Hang on 1 second. Here it is. So here we go. I'm doing a hangout on Thursday with Brett, live, and you can register for it there. Killer Copywriting Made Easy. So Internet Phenomenon G Hangout / Killer Copywriting Made Easy with hyphens in between. You can go there and register. And we'll have chat there. You can we'll take questions at the end of the hangout. So if you got any questions for Brett, bring them along, and we'll answer. Can't promise to answer all of them, but we will answer as many as we can, and you know, get you an opportunity to maybe get in on the first run of this cool software if you're interested. Okay, so thanks for watching. Have a rockin' day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.